Hello, Lisa Richard here with Loving Energy Recharge. Welcome to Inner Alchemy. Inner Alchemy is a blend of the teachings of human design, the gene keys, and incorporating some more than existing Lightworker coaching tools. We are following the wheel that is known as the mandala wheel in the teachings of human design, which is a representation, the 64 in the book of I Ching, which is known as the book of changes. The numbers 1 through 64 also talk about our 64 codon rings, our DNA strands, which is a representation then of our ability to do the cellular change within inside ourselves, and to also show the relationship to the pattern as the wheel constantly turns and we go through and experience each one of the 64 gates at certain times of the year. Now, as we step into the energy for August the 10th, going through the 15th, we are now entering into gate number 4, which is bringing us up into the ajna. In the teachings of human design, this is your third eye. It is your ability to rationalize, to have solutions, and or to sit in the anxiety. So there's many different gates within that ajna center, and it's going to depend on whether this is colored in on your birth chart or whether it's white on your birth chart. And if you're new to the teachings of human design and you'd like to get a copy of your complimentary birth chart, please visit my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. You can enroll in the free Introduction to Human Design course and follow the links to get your birth chart. Now, regardless, all of us are going to be stimulated in this gate number 4 during August the 10th to the 15th. So this is putting us up into either increasing our ability to tap into a heightened awareness, a heightened sense of receiving information, getting our downloads, coming up with some beautiful solutions to problems that may have plagued you for quite a while. This is part of what is known as the channel of the logical mind. So it's coming down from that higher intellect. It is our second activation in what is known as the ring of union in the teachings of the gene keys. So last week we stepped into the teachings of bringing in the gift of guidance and really becoming the own leader to yourself and guiding yourself in a direction that you want to walk towards in your future, knowing that you're leaving a legacy, knowing that the children are walking in your footsteps, and really taking the ownership and responsibility for self. Now we're stepping into the gift of understanding. So understanding that from a third eye perspective, from a higher state of consciousness, from sitting on the mountaintop, so to speak, you're going to see many different perspectives. You're going to see that behaviors involved many people. Things aren't happening just to you, to us. It's not personal. So it's an opportunity to stretch your viewpoint even further, to really extract some wisdom and some nuggets during this heightened sense of energy. After this time frame, you're going to go through 2 more gates within that ring of union that'll drop us down into the sacral center. So this is a beautiful time to really recognize how the different gates within your human design and the different opportunities within the collective energy are helping to form this ring of union, which is all about relationships. So opportunities to strengthen the relationship with yourself and those who are around you. Now, we're also going to be really feeling the energy, the shadow tendencies, the lower vibrations collectively during this time in order to recognize how it shows up within ourselves and to remind ourselves to tap into that gift of understanding and what is known as the Sudi in the teachings of human design, the ultimate gift, which is forgiveness. That is through the gene keys, not through the human design. Gene keys is kind of like when you enter in through a gate, the gates of human design, that number 4, the gene key becomes the key that then opens that gate to offer in the opportunity to do the alchemy. So here is where we see that we're going to be facing the shadow of intolerance, the dilemma of reasons, and the gift of understanding with that highest aspect of forgiveness. But I want to bring us back to kind of walk us through a little bit of a deeper teaching here, because when we are looking at just that gate number 4, this is where we're going to see the energy. If you have this in your chart already, where you're going to be scanning the world for improvements. It comes with a natural tendency to doubt, to question, and to question is beautiful. Because if we're not taught to question things or kind of wonder, why are we doing that? Is that the best way we can do something? Then we don't have opportunities to notice things that could be problems later on, or to deal with inadequacies or inefficiencies that are already existing out there. So some people are just naturally trained to constantly doubt things, to tend to worry a little bit more about things, to almost be like a negative Nelly, so to speak. And it's not that you're always negative towards everything. It's just that you're designed to have a critical mind. Now, we want to be really careful in this energy that criticism doesn't turn inward. It's not about the individual. It's not about certain people to target this at. It is about using your skills for the broader perspective to look at systems, governments, educations, infrastructures, and really apply your gift of doubting, double checking, problem solving, efficiencies, to bring forward then recommendations based on your ability to understand the bigger picture, which can add value to moving things in a direction that serve the highest good. So notice for yourself if you tend to do a lot of internal worrying, and that is coming from a fear of chaos. Every one of those gates within the Ajna center, our third eye, is stimulating fears in the form of anxiety. So here we're going to find the fear of chaos. Chaos helps you to feel like, I want to be in control. So when everything seems to be scattered and everything seems to be out of your hands, the logical solution comes in and wants to try to put everything together. And this is where we're going to find ourselves getting caught in the shadow of intolerance, because when things don't go according to the plan within the mind, the plan within the fears to help someone feel safe, this is when we literally feel like the world is falling apart. So the intolerance within ourselves starts to rise. It's like the nervous system gets attacked. The emotions start to fester. And I want to bring us back to this chart here of the brain, because what is happening is when we have our instinctual self, the part of us that does not feel safe, start to react from that fear-based response, it floods into our emotions. And when we're sitting in the emotional energy that is feeding into the fear, and we are then moving into creating all sorts of reasons, which is the dilemma for why we're feeling the shadow of intolerance, why we're feeling irritated, justifying why we want to do something based on that fear, then we can't get to the solution. We can't get to that forward thinking brain, to the higher self. So a lot of this energy that's being stimulated right now is going to be attacking your emotions. It's going to feel like it is you, but this is collective energy in nature. So it's reminding yourself that if you're facing problems right now, you can't get to a solution if you're stuck in the problem. There is no truth when you're going through the emotional waves of what you're meant to go through. There's no clarity in the highs and the lows of that emotional body. when you can remind yourself to come from a place of responding, which brings us into that gift of understanding. So taking that step back, connecting to your breath, instead of jumping in and being irritated, having that intolerance come up, trying to create a reason to justify a behavior or your actions or wanting to get your way, and really sitting in your own fears of, you know what, I can't control this, and feeling how that feels within yourself and coming to the understanding of, you know what, I'm allowed to be afraid. I'm allowed to feel sad. I'm allowed to feel uncomfortable. And sitting in that feeling in order to extract the higher virtues that are coming through in this. And that is where we see the Sudi of forgiveness. Forgiveness can be in the form of letting something go that really isn't that important in the grand scheme of things, which means you cut that energetic cord that you have tied to a person, a place, or an experience. And most times, it is really bringing in the forgiveness to yourself for feeling like it's your responsibility to jump in and save someone, rescue someone, carry someone else's secrets, be responsible for their behaviors, trying to hold all the pieces together so that things aren't chaotic in nature, and giving yourself permission to recognize that we are so small. We are literally a speck of sand on the beach of humanity. So why do we feel like we are here to carry the weight of the world on our shoulder? So there's some powerful, powerful energy coming through this week. This is an opportunity, and I almost see it like when you are shining a light on something, or the explanation I gave my husband this morning was when you step into the shower, so you step into some clean water, it starts to release all the dirt and everything that you've picked up from your day. Well, that's no different than the increased amount of light that is coming into the earth right now. And because we are growing in our awareness and we're coming online and we're getting that upgrade, so to speak, to our DNA and our cellular structure, it is naturally drawing these shadows up to be seen and to be brought into your conscious awareness. So out in the world, you're going to notice a lot more people getting angry, getting irritated, being reactive. And you're going to notice how we have a tendency to project it onto somebody else. You're afraid, you project that anger to help yourself to deal through that. And I just witnessed that this morning, showing up to take my recycling down, witnessing an argument, witnessing somebody who wanted to have a service. The other person couldn't meet that service. And then all of a sudden there was an attack taking place because it was justified as being unfair. So sometimes we show up in these opportunities where we are witnessing things to allow ourselves to be an observer, to see how this energy plays out. And it's not to judge anybody else. It's not to decide what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. That is also the fear of our mind wanting to make a reason to feel like it's in control. We really don't have any say in what is going around us. We are part of nature. The flower that gets stepped on doesn't question, why did I just get stepped on? It just accepts that, you know what, something happened. And it's the same for us. If somebody cuts you off in traffic, they didn't purposely try to find you to cut you off. But that could feel very personal. It could derail your entire day. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. That was the last little bit of irritation that drew up your own shadow of intolerance. So we have opportunities during this time frame to really notice within our own nervous system. What am I intolerant towards? What is really getting on my nerves and causing a reaction? How many times do we create reasons to justify it has to go this way, to justify your behavior, to justify what you think someone else is doing, their life, their emotion, what they've done to you or haven't done to you? And can we move ourselves out of that to give ourselves a bit of a time out, to raise up to the top of the mountain, draw in some clean air and some clean breaths, to then start looking from multiple perspectives, asking our higher self, this is hard. Show me what I am to learn from this situation. Help me in my relationships to see from another person's perspective. Help me to move into the sudi of forgiveness, which is releasing you from all those energetic threads that hold you down. So don't be caught up in the storm that is going on. It doesn't have to exist within you, even though it's out in the world. If you found this channel, you're sensitive, you're an empath, you're a light worker, you're being called to harness the gift. You're being called to cultivate more understanding, more grace, more forgiveness, to learn how to parent your inner child, to take full responsibility for your actions, your behaviors, your ability to do your own inner alchemy work, and to lead by example, because the children are always watching, and their children are going to be following in the footsteps that we leave behind. So we may be here to see great change in our lifetime. We may be here to plant seeds that there are better tomorrows, but you are here for a reason nonetheless. So enjoy this beautiful journey. If you want some more tools on inner alchemy, you can visit my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com. Your birth chart has a ton of information to extract about your gifts, your purpose, living your best life, and really acknowledging that we all came here to transition certain fears, certain shadow energies that are individual but also collective in nature, in order to raise your vibration and come into a greater sense of trusting in your intuitive ability, trusting in yourself to make the decisions that you know to be right for you. Namaste to you all. Hold on tight during this energy and allow yourself to witness the growth within yourself and the opportunities for transformation within the collective as well. Take care.